It's just a reunion, my dad said when I wasn't invited to the one party that truly mattered. It's just a reunion, Natalie. Not everyone needs to be there. My father's voice was dismissive when I confronted him about seeing my grandmother's 85th birthday party all over social media, a party I was never invited to. But he had no idea this reunion would reveal a secret that changed everything. I'm Grace. I'm 29 years old, and I work as a graphic designer in the city. I've been recently divorced with no kids, trying to rebuild my life from scratch. When my parents went through their messy divorce 17 years ago, I made the choice to live with my mom. My two siblings stayed with Dad. Ever since then, I've been the family outsider, the one who chose sides, the one who doesn't really belong at family gatherings. For years, I've been subtly excluded from events, always told they're not that important or just small get-togethers. When I find out later they were huge celebrations, my cousins and siblings get all the attention, all the invitations, while I'm treated like extended family barely knows I exist. I wasn't the perfect daughter who stayed close to home, but I had something they never knew about. Grandma's real wishes. Has your family ever treated you like this? Share your story below. I constantly felt like I had to prove I cared about family, while everyone else's love was just assumed. When I saw the birthday photos on Instagram, I counted 43 family members. Aunts, uncles, cousins, my siblings, their kids, everyone smiling around Grandma's cake. Everyone except me. I called my Aunt Karen first. "Oh, honey, we thought you were too busy with your new life to care about family stuff," she said with fake sweetness. Busy with what? "You never told me about the party." "Well, your father said you probably wouldn't want to come. Anyway, when I confronted my dad, he doubled down. Your grandmother specifically said she wanted it simple. He insisted, don't make this about you, but the pictures showed anything but simple. There was a DJ, catered food, decorations. This was a major celebration. That's when I started digging deeper. This wasn't the first time. Over the past 2 years, I'd been systematically excluded from several gatherings. Cousin's wedding shower, uncle's retirement party, family Christmas Eve dinner. Each time I was told after the fact that it wasn't a big deal or they didn't want to bother me. The humiliation hit hardest when my coworkers started asking about the party after seeing tagged photos online. Your grandmother looked so happy. How was the celebration? I had to admit I wasn't there. Wasn't invited. The pity in their eyes was unbearable. But then I found something that changed everything. An old voicemail on my phone from 3 months ago that I'd somehow missed. "Grace, honey, it's Grandma. I don't understand why you never visit anymore. Your father says you're too busy, but I miss you. I feel so kept away from you." Her voice was shaky, confused. My heart broke listening to it. The pattern of exclusion got worse after that discovery. Christmas morning, Ish showed up at my father's house like we'd planned. But when he opened the door, I could see the entire extended family, already gathered in the living room for breakfast. "Oh, Grace, we started early this year," he said awkwardly. "You never told me you moved the time. I thought your sister mentioned it." She hadn't, no one had. I sat through that breakfast feeling like an intruder at my own family gathering. Then came my grandfather's memorial service. I arrived to find specific seating arrangements had been made. My cousins and siblings were given front row seats and speaking roles. I was directed to sit in the back with distant relatives. The immediate family sits up front. The funeral director explained, "I am immediate family." "Oh," I was told, "let me check the list." My name wasn't on it, but the final betrayal came during a conversation I overheard after the service. My father and siblings were discussing dividing up Grandma's jewelry collection. "We should split it among the grandchildren how we're close to her," my sister Lisa said. "Right. The ones who actually visited," my brother added. My father nodded. Natalie was never really involved anyway. They were talking about excluding me from my own inheritance. From pieces of jewelry I'd helped Grandma pick out when I was a child. That's when I realized I had to fight back. I started documenting every exclusion, every lie, every time they painted me as the distant granddaughter. What they didn't know was that Grandma and I had been secretly meeting for coffee every month for 3 years. After the divorce, when the family split became toxic, I maintained a private relationship with her. She was heartbroken by all the division and wanted to stay close to me without causing more drama. Every month we'd meet at a little cafe downtown. She'd tell me about her week. I'd show her my design work, and we'd talk about everything the family was keeping from both of us. During these visits, she'd often ask me why I never came to family events anymore. She'd express confusion about being told I was too busy or not interested in spending time with the family. "I don't understand, honey," she'd say. "You're here with me, so I know you care." What broke my heart most was realizing she'd been asking family members why I wasn't around. And they'd been lying to her. She'd been leaving me as the primary beneficiary in her will specifically because of our close relationship. But she was being told I didn't want to be part of the family. While they painted me as the distant granddaughter, I was actually the one she trusted most with her real feelings about aging, about feeling forgotten, about missing the closeness we used to have. That's when Mrs. Chen reached out to me. She was Grandma's longtime neighbor and had been witnessing Grandma's confusion about the family lies. "Your grandmother asks about you constantly," she told me over the phone. "She doesn't understand why you don't want to see her anymore." But I do see her. We meet every month. She forgets sometimes. The confusion is getting worse. But share members being hurt that you don't come to family gatherings. Mrs. Chen revealed that the family was planning to move Grandma to assisted living without consulting me. They were making all the decisions while telling her that I was too busy with my new life to be involved. "Your father told her you said the birthday party wasn't important enough to attend." Mrs. Chen continued. Stomach dropped. I was never invited. I thought that might be the case. The breaking point came when I had coffee with Grandma the next week. She looked at me with such sadness. "Grace, honey, I thought you didn't love me anymore." "What? Why would you think that?" "Your father said you were too busy to come to my birthday party, that you didn't want to come." The pain in her voice destroyed me. "Grandma, I was never invited. I found out about the party from pictures online." Her confusion cleared for a moment, and I saw fury in her eyes. That's when I knew I had to end this. I arranged a surprise visit with Grandma, bringing Mrs. Chen as a witness. Together, we sat down with her during one of her clearer moments and gently explained what had been happening. "They've been excluding me from family events and telling you I chose not to come," I said carefully. Grandma's mind became crystal clear. Her anger was immediate and fierce. "They lied to me about my own granddaughter." "Yes, Grandma." For years, she picked up her phone immediately and called my father. "I want an emergency family meeting tonight. Everyone needs to explain why they've been lying to me about Grace." The family gathered at her house that evening, clearly confused about why they'd been summoned. "I want to know," Grandma said, her voice stronger than I'd heard in months. "Why you told me Grace doesn't want to see me?" My father tried to deflect. "Mom, we were just trying to keep things simple for you." "Simple." Her voice rose. "You kept my granddaughter away from me and lied about it for years." I pulled out my phone and showed them the screenshots. Invitations I was never sent. Events I was told weren't important. Family group chats I was removed from. My sister tried to interrupt. "Grace, you're being dramatic. She visits me every month. Grandma cut her off every month for 3 years. She's the only one who treats me like I still matter." The room went silent. "I'm changing my will," Grandma announced, "and Grace is going to handle all my care decisions from now on." My father's face went pale. "Mom, you don't mean that. Natalie is the only one who visited me. Honestly, the rest of you have been treating me like I'm already gone." I accepted responsibility for Grandma's care and moved her to an apartment closer to my place. For 2 precious years, she lived happily with me as her primary caregiver, finally getting honest family interaction without manipulation or lies. Our monthly coffee dates became weekly dinners. She helped me through my divorce recovery, and I helped her navigate her memory issues with patience and love. When family members tried to visit, I supervised to make sure they weren't feeding her more lies or trying to manipulate her confusion. The family attempted awkward reconciliation after realizing their exclusion tactics had completely backfired. but I maintained firm boundaries. Limited supervised visits. No more tolerance for manipulation. When Grandma passed peacefully 2 years later, I felt peace knowing she'd spent their final years with someone who truly wanted her company. Not her inheritance. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. If you've ever had to stand up to family betrayal, hit subscribe and tell me your story. Sometimes the people who exclude you give you the greatest gift, showing you who really matters. Family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up with honesty and love. Share your experiences with family exclusion below. And remember that protecting vulnerable family members from manipulation is more important than keeping peace.